Voor de verkiezingen van 25 mei 2025 vertoeft er een Caricom waarnemersmissie in Suriname. Aan het hoofd van de missie staat mevrouw Dora James en zij zijn er in Suriname in de periode van 19 tot en met 27 mei 2025. Het doel van de missie is tweeledig. Ten eerste om internationaal een signaal te geven dat de verkiezingen conform de regels vrij en geheim zijn. En ten tweede om nationaal de samenleving de zekerheid te geven dat ze conform hun wil een eindresultaat mogen verwachten. Op een persconferentie hedenmiddag in het Lalaroek gebouw is Dora James, hoofd van de delegatie, ingegaan op een aantal zaken en ook nog op vragen van journalisten. Wij voeren nu naar het volgende verslag.
Caricom heads of government have committed to supporting member states upon their request by providing an independent, impartial and honest assessment of the preparations for the conduct of general elections. In this context, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, International Business and International Cooperation of Suriname invited the Caribbean community to field a Caricom Election Observation Mission to observe the conduct of general elections to be held on 25th May 2025. In response to the invitation, the Caricom Secretariat has deployed a 9-member team to observe the election in the Republic of Suriname. The Caricom Election Observer Mission is headed by myself, Dora James, Supervisor of Elections in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and the other members of this team are Mr. Oliot Daniel, Member of the Electoral Commission of Antigua and Barbuda, Mr. Harrison Thompson, Parliamentary Commissioner of the Bahamas, Ms. Deborah Patricia Hughes, Member of the Electoral and Boundaries Commission of Barbados, Mr. Clement Rohi, Commissioner, Guyana Elections Commissions, Ms. Rose Teresa Georges, Counselor in the Electoral Office of Haiti, Mr. Herman St. Helen, Chief Elections Officer of the Electoral Department of St. Lucia, Ms. Brendalyn Henry, Regional Manager, Electoral Office of Jamaica, and Ms. Lena Campos Sahadu, Deputy Chief Elections Officer of Trinidad and Tobago. The CEOM is supported by 3 members of the Caricom Secretariat, namely Ms. Shea Alicia Lewis, Program Community Relations, Manager for Community Relations, Mr. David Allens, Project Manager, Foreign Affairs Community Relations, and Ms. Denise Morgan, who is right at the back, Stenographer and Foreign and Community Relations. The core team, comprising of the Chief of Missions of Caricom Secretariat support staff, arrived in Suriname on Monday, 19 May 2025, while the remaining members of the mission will arrive in Suriname between the 21st and 22nd of May. Since the team's arrival, a courtesy call has been paid on His Excellency Albert Ramdin, Minister of Foreign Affairs, International Business and International Cooperation. The team has also had the opportunity to familiarize itself with some of the security measures in place to ensure the safety of the elections through a visit to the command center. Following the arrival press conference this afternoon, meetings were also held or will be held with representatives of various political parties. Engagements will continue throughout the week with other stakeholders and civil society organizations, including Youth Council, the Inter-Religious Council, representatives of the indigenous and Maroon communities, and the anti-fraud platform, among others. The CEOM looks forward to also engaging with the Chair of the National Assembly and the Minister of Home Affairs, as well as the Chair of the Independent Electoral Council, OKB, and participating in the OKB information sessions for international election observers on 23rd May. The CEOM's engagement over the next few days is meant to provide an understanding of the pre-election environment. The team will also monitor the polling day activities, including the opening, conduct, and closing of the polls, through to the tabulation of ballots and declaration of the results. Throughout the mission, the CEOM will collect qualitative and quantitative data regarding the entire electoral process, including the actions and conduct of elections officials, political actors, and other stakeholders, to assess the extent to which they contributed to the overall electoral environment. Following the election day activities, the CEOM will issue a preliminary statement of its observation. The content will highlight the scope and the findings of the mission. A final report will be prepared and submitted to the Secretary General of the Caricom community. This report will be shared with the government of Suriname, the leader of the opposition, and the Ministry of Home Affairs, and also the Independent Electoral Council, OKB. The entire CEOM will depart on the 27th May 2025. The Caricom Election Observer Mission expresses sincerest gratitude for the invitation extended to participate in this observer mission and support the democratic process in the Republic of Suriname. The team will also extend appreciation to the Surinamese people for their support and the warm hospitality extended thus far. Caricom wishes the Republic of Suriname a peaceful and successful election exercise.
The delegation, how many people are in this delegation?
In total, 12. We have 9 representing member states and 3 from the Caricom Secretariat.
And of those 12 people will be in Suriname. Is this their first, second, or third time observing election?
Well, all of the members have experience observing elections. Some of them are chief of elections, were chief of elections before, and I was here in 2020 as your chief, as a Caricom chief for your elections. So we have a wealth of knowledge, we have years of experience, and not only that, we have from among the team, they are members of electoral bodies in their country.
On the day of the election itself, what are the things you guys are looking for, criteria, your observation that consists of what?
Well, you spoke about criteria, and that has to do with your laws. What is your practice? What is supposed to happen in the elections? But and also in terms of Caricom, we observe, we can't interfere in your elections, but we will use the laws to guide our observation process as we go through the day.
And all the information that you will gather, for who is that information?
Well, we're representing Caricom, and that information will first go to the Secretary General, and then after the final report is done, that will be disbursed to your government, including the opposition and the other stakeholders, OKB, who are responsible for that information. And also we must include Home Affairs because they are the ones who organize your elections here.
And in Caricom, what is being said about the elections in Suriname? What are people saying when they talk about the elections of Suriname?
Most persons we have engaged in spoke about the peacefulness and the camaraderie on the elections. From my experience, I saw that although I came in COVID, maybe I would look forward to see what happens outside of COVID. But so far we have had good reviews.
And the delegation being of 12 people, what do you see like after the, because Suriname is a big country, yeah, what do you guys see as the challenges for that day of the 25th of May?
Well, our main challenge would be that we would not be able to cover all of the areas. However, there are other observation missions who are here, and they too will be participating, so you will have very good coverage.
Later on the day, I came to understand that later on the day you guys have a meeting with political parties. Yeah.
Yes, we continue after this press conference.
Yeah. What are you guys talking about?
Well, I don't know what the political parties would bring to the table, but what we are going to do is to find out what is the environment like in terms of their operations and how are things going so far.